Thank you, Madam Chair. And today I'd just like to provide you all with an overview and update on our services and supports that we provide to the citizens of St. Charles Parish, share a little bit of our data on the outcomes that we've accomplished this year, and just talk a little bit about future initiatives. And I'm going to do that in 10 minutes. But as many of you know, we provide a vast array of services and supports to citizens. We are the safety net organization for St. Charles Parish. That includes emergency services, supportive services to clients who come through our doors. We work in the neighborhood-based programs to improve the quality of life for low-income clients or youth at risk. We try to help build self-sufficiency through our life skills program. We provide minor home repairs and some more substantial home repairs through a variety of programs. We work in partnership with United Way of St. Charles, who funds us to do handicap ramps, and we provide educational and enrichment programs, I like to say informal educational programs for youth in targeted neighborhoods, including our center programs. We do all of this through public-private partnerships. We leverage the resources that are available in this community by working with the community partners, and I've listed some of the key partners that we have here. And we do an intake, assessment, service delivery, but very often we have to do referral as part of that service delivery. And so we work in partnership with Social Concerns, Catholic Charities, the Labor of Love program from St. Charles Borromeo, Volunteers of America. We are a Second Harvest site for the food bank here in St. Charles Parish. We work in partnership with the Matthew 25 Food Bank as well, Safe Space New Orleans, St. Charles, I'm used to saying New Orleans, St. Charles Parish Library, and Mount Zion Baptist Church. And we are a partner site with the State of Louisiana Department of Children and Family Services. Who are the people who come through our door? Well, last year in the new Sarpy Center and our outreach office that we have over at the Edward Dufresne Center, we've had approximately 1,300 clients come in the door for direct assistance. Of that, 25% had never been through our door. The new people who have come seeking us for some type of service or support. The primary profile of the people that we serve are single individuals, single parent female in particular, elderly, and single individuals, in one income in a household. And very often, we collect data through that intake process. Many of these people do not have the education to move to that next level. They may be working, but at entry-level jobs. So we see a lot of folks at that level as well. Or they might be working on moving forward with their education. Emergency assistance is funded through a variety of sources. The local funds, we served 141 people through that. Those are fire victims. Those are individuals who have a disconnect with a water bill. We have some dollars that we set aside for emergency assistance for light bills, because when the LAHEAP funds, they may not meet a requirement for the federal funds, so we have to help them through the local dollars. The Community Services Block Grant, or CSBG funds, we allocate a portion of that primarily to Community Services Block Grant funds, the salaries and the overhead for the department. But we do carve out a little bit of that funding to set aside for emergency assistance for other clients who come through the door who may need help with medicine or a wheelchair or things like that are kind of outside of the scope of a utility bill. We have served over 446 people through our Second Harvest Food Bank site. We started out as a very small crisis food bank there in New Sarpy, and we are consistently giving out somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 boxes a month. And Thanksgiving baskets, remember, those are private dollars that come through the door from the corporate sponsors and individuals in our community, and that has grown to over 300 baskets this year. And in addition, as a partner site, remember the state has gone to everything online. We assist clients who aren't maybe computer savvy with doing their SNAPs food stamp applications. So we have really increased our services in that area as well. LAHEAP, or Low Income Home Energy Program, is our primary support. that we receive. These are federal dollars passed through Louisiana Housing Corporation that allows us to give safety net in the form of utility assistance, a credit on their utility bills. And we've served over 659 families and dispersed through that program over $237,000 in what we call regular LEHEAP. That puts a credit on the bill for those peak utility seasons, the summer for air conditioning or heating in the winter. In addition, we've done 119 crisis applications, people with disconnects. They have to document a crisis to receive these funds, and we've done another $26,000 under that program. I set up an agreement with Atmos to do direct assistance, dispersing funds, and credit on a bill through their system for our area, and we've done over 7,000 in assistance in addition to LEHEAP through that program. Summer food program grows every year. We provide 3 sites. We help provide bus transportation to bring youth during the summer program, during the summer months when they're out of school, maybe not getting that hot meal on a regular basis. And we've served over 6,000 meals. That includes adults who come in and purchase a meal, parents who might be accompanying the children this year, but that really was, we hit our peak there. And this year, for the first time, United Way agreed to help provide a grant to support underwrite some of those facility costs. So that helped to ease some of the financial burden on that program, which I think is a very important program in the summertime. Another area of tremendous growth is the housing program. And we have the HUD Home program, which has been about stable on the federal funding. And the health and safety program takes our local funds and helps to do minor home repairs. Well, St. Charles Borromeo established a program called Labor of Love, and we have volunteers who come on a regular basis to our office and prep the sites and do a tremendous amount of labor on the sites, preparing projects so that we can then leverage our new USDA grant funds or our health and safety funds, our local funds, that help us to do more substantial repairs than we would have normally been able to do under the health and safety program. So with their support, and this year for the first time, we had the USDA grant we applied for housing preservation funds, which allows us to do up to about $7,000 on a project. A lot of roofs that we had to catch up on, we did through this fund, and we were able to complete 10 projects totaling about $60,000 of additional funding. Our community center programs continue to grow to do the after-school drop-in during the school year, where we do homework help, provide that safe haven for youth in those communities. We have the St. Rose Center, we have the Kelowna Center. This year we piloted, with the help of Mr. Woodruff and the council's support, what's now becoming our new model, the outreach model. So we started with the boutique community outreach, and we've had very good participation doing an after-school program there, specialty programs, and the summer enrichment. From all those programs, we are partnered with Second Harvest to get snacks. We've done over 6,000 snacks to all those kids who participate in our program. We served over 95 kids through the summer enrichment. And we launched this year, we're always trying to do new and creative programs. Our Lunch and Learn series, kind of under that life skills purview, we do, if you feed folks, they come, rather than just doing a workshop. But we give them lunch with a purpose, where we do, as part of that, a special topic that helps to build self-sufficiency. That could be anything from financial literacy to cooking on a budget, or something fun and creative as well. Talking a little bit about future needs, I'm kind of on my fast mode here to kind of touch base where we've launched this year a client satisfaction survey, and where we're tracking input from everybody comes through our doors and receives our services. And I'm happy to say that 95% of the people who responded to that survey, clients who received our services and support, and I know you always hear the complaints, but 95% said we give excellent service, a very good service. And I'm just highlighting a few of the comments. We have many, many comments, mostly positive, that the services help them to have a quality of life. They appreciate the assistance, help them to maintain a decent life, that our staff give good caring services and support, made sure that their needs were met. So it's a credit to the staff that work there every day with these clients who come in with a lot of issues that we try to help them in any way that we can with the limited resources that we have available. We also do an ongoing needs assessment, and these are kind of the top areas that were identified, and this will be used for future program planning. Energy costs is always up there at the top. Healthcare is another one. Nutritional, we're meeting that need, as you see through our variety of programs. Life skills, employment. Life skills can lead to employment opportunities because we do job readiness as part of that. Activities for teens is something we're trying to expand at the centers, trying some socials and dances and sock hops, and well, we call them sock hops. We have new names for them now. I'm showing my age here. But we're doing those types of activities after school for kids, trying to be more creative in the kinds of program that we're offering. You know, as a department, we are constantly growing, but working with those partners that are vital to our success in our community. And the corporate partners are a big part of that, who provide us with the financial resources. They also come in there with donations. We have our local folks. We have our council secretaries who adopt a family every Christmas. We have the St. Charles Borough Mayor, everybody working together. Our council members support us, our advisory board. And of course, the most important to me, that I try to nurture the support of my team. That's my core team, who really do make a difference in this community every day by greeting clients with a smile and trying hard to meet their needs through the programs and services and supports that we have available. So I think I'm under my time, and if there's any questions, I'll be glad to respond.
Thank you, Ms. Joan. Any questions from the council? Councilman Cluley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You do have an excellent staff, and I have referred several people to you for assistance. Do you find that the age of your clients is trending younger, older, or you're just having more people show up at your door?
We do track by age. You know, one of the first things I do is start tracking intake data. And so age is part of that. It's clustering toward we have one cluster toward that younger generation, single parent, and then we have those who may have lost a job at, say, age 60 to 80, and then the elderly. We have those clusters, and a lot of people with disabilities that are in there. But I have very specific, I can tell you, the percent, the range. It's spread pretty evenly across the age ranges in that older group, the single parents on up.
Councilman Woodruff.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Diaz, earlier this week I spoke with a gentleman who pretty much manages the second harvester over here on the West Bank, and he was telling me that in the near future they're going to be losing their building in Paradis. And he had asked for assistance in either finding another building or getting money for another building. And I was wondering if, like budget hearings, if we were able to find some money, could we put it in that program where we could maybe either build him one or find him one or something?
And what I'm doing, I'm familiar with the program that you're talking about, and I've spoken with them, and I'm trying to help them write grants to corporate groups. We work closely with all of the food banks, and so I think if they get a building, which I think the number is 40,000, give or take, to build.
It's right about 40,000.
Yeah, and so I'm trying to help them find resources through foundations or some of the corporate groups.
Okay, yeah, for some maybe community help, maybe some corporations, if they would donate a little something, maybe help them out.
Right, because our resource, remember, the most I pay, financially, the Second Harvest Food Bank costs us about $200 a year in terms of becoming a member of Second Harvest Food Bank. All of the food that we get from them is on a list. We shop, we get it, we pick it up, but we don't pay a fee for it.
Right.
And so in addition to that, I get donations that help me to buy supplemental food when they don't have a good variety. So we don't really have a big budget under the food bank.
I was surprised at the amount of food that they actually give out all the time, in the amount that comes in, some of the trucks that come in, and they have to have bunch of people to unload them, and I was like, you really got that much? And he's like, yeah.
We do an average pickup for us is probably about 2,000 pounds of food that us ladies, we get help from Public Works. I have to give them credit because we get the guys in the back to help us unload it. But that's the average pickup that we can do twice a month. And we give out probably an equal amount as all of those food banks across the parish.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Mr. Cochran.
In regards to what y'all were just talking about, I met with Donnie last week, and we're going to be getting a meeting together, and we're going to be pulling Dick into this meeting as well. I had the opportunity to serve at the food bank on the East Bank, and they're in the same type of need. And it's amazing how many people we touch, you know, once a month, twice a month, 3 times a month. It depends on how they get their food and all. And the lack of what they have at the facility. So it's incumbent upon us to try to work with these, these organizations to try to provide. So Mr. Gibbs and Mr. Woodruff, we're going to be meeting very soon because they're in y'all districts and talk about how we can help them out. So thank y'all.
Any more council discussion or questions for Ms. Diaz? Seeing none, thank you so much.